and welcome. Those pictures were from last week, Judy doing her yoga on deck at sunrise. It really was the only time that it was cool enough to do it. You might have heard in the news that there's been a real heat wave across quite a lot of Europe, but Greece in particular, and there's been a lot of wildfires here. So our hearts go out to those guys that have been affected by that. I say our hearts, but as you can see, Judy is not here. No, she hasn't melted in the sun. She's actually flown back to the UK because eldest daughter Emily is expecting our second grandchild. So Judy will be in her element looking after first grandchild Isaac. Meanwhile, I'm single-handed, which has its challenges of its own. Hope you enjoy the film. Coming up, Judy flies back to England and I'm now sailing single-handed. Taking on water, a sailor's worst nightmare. And looking around one of the fastest, sleekest yachts you're liable to find. We pick up with Judy still on board, heading south through the playground of the Ionian, south of the Levkas Canal. So we're sailing, but pretty light breeze. It's only got about 6 or 7 knots of true. We're coming down the Peloponnese Strait. So this is Peloponnese Island. Well, actually you can't see it. That side, Peloponnese Island, and this is Ithaca. We're going to go all the way down through the strait, flying all the sails. Better get back actually because we're going to need to tack. We've showed some tacking before, but I've got the GoPro on me now so we can actually go around and show you firsthand. And we've got all the sails up this time, so let's go through what that looks like. I'll put this one up here so we've got that camera as well.
Well, I'm just getting a bit of speed and we can...
Okay, yep. So there's not a lot of wind, so this is going to be tricky to get around, but as soon as we lose the wind in the Yankee, I'll take it off and go around and have it in the other side. God, it really has dropped the wind, hasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, not even doing 2 knots, I hope we'll get round.
Okay, this might not be such a good example. Okay, it's starting to luff up now. And yeah, we've lost it there. Might actually not have enough speed to get around at this rate, but we'll have a look. I'll go around. Judy keeps steering around. Let's hope she goes. So really I'm just taking up the tension until I can get the clue up sort of where the staysail is. And then it flip around the other side with the wind, if we had any. A little bit more, yeah, you can see the clue just coming through there now. So there's enough wind to blow it through. It really is light now. We've got, what, 4 knots of wind, nothing. I'm surprised we're moving. There we go, that's it straight, there we go. We can put it out. That's all we need. Leave the staysail backed until I get to it. There's no real rush in that. Come down. Have it over, simply as that. It's a lovely area, and these sorts of light airs are typical, but you're surrounded by islands and have flat seas, so you can still sail, however slowly. We had been boat bound for days, so wanted to stretch our legs with a walk. On the way to shore, we found a cave. Weird bit of rock and a little beach. What is that? It pushes back. And out the way. That's a very low cave.
That is very.
Careful,
careful.
Very clear water though, lovely.
No fish.
Engine down. It's a weird little water.
Yeah.
We did eventually find a landing point. So the question is whether we can find a path up here. Very steep. Lots of cicadas.
I'm not sure there is.
Not much left of the house though. There obviously has some steps down to it there. And there's some steps here, so might be able to do something. Yeah, we're going. Oh. You smell of rosemary.
This is not a path.
It did end up being a riverbed, not a path, surrounded by the loudest cicadas in history. I think you're right. Should we not scramble up this then? We eventually found a walkable track. It was a long, hot climb, but worth it.
Or something.
No, I was just thinking that's a house right up this hill. And these are the water pipes feeding it, I should think. Drape all the way up here. That's a hell of a lot of pressure. Let's get it up this hill. Get a bit of a view.
Oh, lucky. What a great view. Oh, lovely. Oh, that's beautiful.
Do you know what it is?
No, what?
It's a clematis of some sort. I don't know which one.
Very smelly.
It's lovely, isn't it? We're heading south from Meghanissy and had originally planned to go to Athens via the Corinth Canal so we could both briefly fly back to the UK. But the canal is closed due to a landslide. So we're now planning on getting to Kalamata so Judy at least can fly back. And that means sailing around the magnificent Venetian battlements of the Peloponnese. This is the sea gate to Mathone Castle. It would have been a truly striking site in the 1700s, controlled by the Venetians. History here stretches way back. This important peninsula will have been the site of battles for millennia. But today's battle was with this. Record temperatures had sparked forest fires, something even the battlements have trouble stopping. We are stopping in the lee of Caroni Castle, a little down the coast, and here the fires are dangerously close to the village. As the wind dies in the evening, so do the fires. Just the smoke lingers. Next morning we're moving on to Kalamata. There's an airport close to the marina, so Judy can get back and some boat jobs can get done. So we've managed to get 2 days here. You sort of need time every now and again in a marina to get all the jobs done. It's water that's the main thing. Going out and cleaning all the decks. Obviously you can see the place is full of washing. Judy's using the laundrette here. Is it a good laundrette?
Yeah, it is good. It's efficient. I've had 3 loads though, so there's always more to wash than you think.
Yeah, it's more work than you think when you haven't got a house with a laundry room and it's all sort of easy to do. And actually cleaning a boat takes more time than you think. I mean, we stop only about once every couple of months in a marina and you spend a day properly cleaning because you need the water. I think if we had a water maker, keep on top of it better maybe. But things like stainless steel, I mean, look how much stainless steel there is, you know, on a boat. And you know, it's this bit I've polished, so it's looking nice, but it all looked like that. And that's after, you know, proper metal polishing when we were in Venice, so it was all perfect. So a couple of wash downs here. Obviously every time we go in the marina as a wash down, I'm going to get all those stains off again this time, and it won't get a proper metal polish again until the winter. But you know, it's work. And even living aboard, it can be hard to keep on top of. The varnish has suffered greatly in the sun this year. Usually the epiphanes on the doghouse last all year and just needs another coat. This year will be more. The wood skin on the tow rails should have had a full extra coat last year, not a touch-up. The old stuff has gone dull in the sun. We've had mixed success with the products we've been testing as well. The G-Technic ceramic base and top coat has done a very good job protecting this top strip where I applied it in winter. The bottom section just had standard polish and has already gone chalky. So we'll do the whole boat with this when we pull her out in Turkey. The other G-Technic product, Fast Coat, that I was trying on the bronze hasn't done quite so well. It's worked on the compression post and delayed tarnishing on the portholes, but it eventually turned them black, along with some other brass bits I used it on, like this. It cleans off easily though. Comes up really, really easy. Judy's about to get going. Have you got all your stuff?
Yep, if you can give me a hand down.
Yep, before I do that I'm just going to show him what I've got to get out of here.
Okay.
The first single-handed challenge, a bit squashed in between him and an enormous motorboat, and the problem with med mooring is these lines all over the place, so I've got to get quite a long way back in a straight line, which isn't the easiest thing in the world to do with this boat. It doesn't go in a straight line backwards, but try and get our way out and free of that so that I can then extract myself from the marina. Not too much wind, it's a bit of a crosswind, but hopefully I can cope with that. So I'll wave on the way out.
Anything I can do?
No, I'll just do this as fast as I can. Right, see how straight we can go on the way back. Alright, now I'll just drop this and we're free. You want to leave a little bit of time for that to sink before we put the prop on. Don't want it around the prop. To know if I've got enough at the front without someone there. Got these ropes sticking out a long way from this massive motorboat. I think that's done it. See, as we went actually over the slime line of that big motorboat, it was moving, so it was running underneath the keel. Luckily, it's not really to catch on. It goes straight then from there over the rudder and the. See our prop is encapsulated on this, so not so bad. I'll wait till I get out of the harbour, and then I'll go and sort out the dinghy, which is tied up tight, and put all the fenders in. It's going to be funny doing this stuff on your own. So I'm going to have a go at getting a mainsail up now. Put a life jacket on. Because if I do fall overboard, I'm going to be in the water for rather a long time. But I'm picking up without anyone on board, so it's worth having on. The crucial thing, of course, with our setup is I've got to do it all from the mast. And you've got to be going directly into the wind to get the sail up. So I've got the remote. This is a cabled one, but I can feed it through the doghouse here and have it at the mast. See if I can get us into wind, get the sail up, and then come back to go away. So there it goes.
There are a lot of voices drowning in the sea. There's too many voices talking back at me. There are a lot of choices waiting to be made. Too many choices making me afraid. Dreams are not the same for me. Standing by the shore while you're on the open sea. Cannot take this anymore.
nothing coming in the stern tube. Start the engine. Battery pump. Push pumps on. Engine on. Cocks. Coming in, I can't. The cock's closed, but it's almost certainly back siphoning, I think. Well, this is just sod's law. First time single-handed, and the alarm went off for my bilge. Luckily, I quite a big alarm in there, and I've got a bit of flapping sounds going on out here. By a few degrees. Panic's over now because I think I've found what it is. But we've got very deep bilges, and water was about 3/4 of the way up. The alarm is on the aft one back here. See, got it down now. So I've got three bilges on, 3 bilge pumps on here. One on the engine, one hand one, and the automatic one. Won't be able to hear me in the engine room, so I'll come in here. It's all okay now that I've got this one going. It's cleared it down. But what had happened was I'd just cleared a little bit of water from where I've been cleaning the bilges and doing stuff while we were in the marina, and turned the pump off. It was only on for about 30 seconds, but obviously that's put water in the line, and then it started to siphon back. Now there is a siphon break in there. I'll go in and show you pictures. I'll put some pictures over this. I won't go in and try and talk. It's too noisy in the engine room with it going. But you'll see this is where the siphon is. The other things I've been doing while we've been in the marina is taking down all the insulation because it was sort of falling down. And there was a little bit just behind this flap here that had fallen on top of the anti-siphon. So it was laying across the top of where the anti-siphon was. So it wasn't working. So it siphoned back. So wow, that's a bit of a shock to come down with the alarms going and the bilge is full of water and we're single-handed. But yeah, cleared it pretty quick. All 3 pumps on, got it out, and I could then see it was coming back through the automatic one. The automatic one's here, it's this one here, so I just overridden that one to put it into manual for a little bit and then turned it off. And that's when you do it. So that's what you should hear, that squeak when you turn it off is the air coming back into the anti-siphon valve. Well, I must not have noticed when I turned it off I didn't get a squeak. You don't always, but you should get that squeak, and that's a good indication because there's water columns going down, air's going into the anti-siphon, and it's not going to keep you full of water and siphon back. So I better go on deck and make sure I'm not crashing into anything.
If you're not familiar with these sorts of systems, they are very simple. Basically, there will be a loop that needs to be above the waterline even when heeled over. This means that if there's water in the bilge and you need to pump out, water will flow around the loop and out. If you turned it off with the pipe still full, the water will siphon back. This is just simple physics, as the seacock will be higher than the pump, which has to be at the very bottom of the bilge. The usual way of stopping this is to include an anti-siphon valve at the very top of the loop. With this in place, when the pump is turned off, air will enter the top of the loop as the water column falls, and the air gap in the pipe makes siphoning impossible.
All good up here. Oh, quite windy though. It's nice, it's a cooler breeze now, so that's good. I'll clean all this stuff up. I have the manual pump going in here as well. Turn that out. Kill the engine. I'll get a bit of time to relax now. We're doing 7 knots, just steaming along really nicely. Got to get to the I'll get to Anchorage in about an hour, and that'll be my next challenge, obviously trying to anchor on my own, but it shouldn't be bad here because it's really nice, big, wide open spot
one we went to before we went across to drop Judy off, so I know it at least. So it should be good, as long as it's not a whole fleet of charter boats in there or something. I should be absolutely fine. So that's where we're heading, just in here. Still doing over 5 knots. Wind's dropped right down, which is quite nice for me to get the sails down and get anchored. Sun's going down, it's cool, it's great. Perfect sail, apart from nearly sinking. It looks like the anchorage is pretty empty actually. There's only one boat that I can see at the moment. It looks like that one might be moving. So yeah, this should be fairly easy. It's not perfectly settled in there, but the wind is dropping, so it's going to drop right down tonight. You can see there's a little breakwater in here, so you can sort of tuck in, the wind's coming in from here. So, should be okay.
The dreams are not the same for me. Standing by the shore.
So I just put her at about 1500 revs. Slow forward. Take the auto helm with me. Get her into wind and see if we can drop it. So I'll just bring her a little way around and take a little bit off the halyards, drop it down so I can get the boom in the crutch, which I have to do from behind on the sheet, pull it in, and then I can drop all the way. Just pull the boom over, doesn't really matter which one it goes in.
Waiting to be made.
Halyard tight on there for the moment, till we get into trouble. We're done. We're coming into the anchorage now. What I'd normally do at this stage is go up on the bowsprit and look for the white bits, and Judy would be actually steering us in. I'll just tell her where to go. But I think the best plan here is for me to try and get a nice sandy spot, the white spots, not the darker spots here are Posidonia seagrass, and you don't want to anchor in that. So if I can get alongside a nice white patch, then by the time I've got to the bowsprit we should have drifted onto it hopefully. Of course the bow will blow off, but you can't stop that happening. It'll always pick one side or another and start to blow off, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem. I can still lay it like that and get back to the helm and straighten her out and set her. That's the plan anyway. Nice white patch just here. Just that side. Turn a little bit. This will be right in front of me. They're out at an angle because the bow's blown off, but it's nice and tight. While it's pulling, that'll straighten us back up again. Once it has, I'll go back and give her a blast, make sure she's in. And then the best part of the day I can go and have a little dive on her. That's it, but coming around pretty straight now. So I'll go back and give it some revs. Take a parallax point from something over on the coast over there. Feel it, good bounce back. It's taken up the strain nicely. I got 30 metres out and I'm only in about 6 metres, 7 metres of water. Don't know exactly because I obviously wasn't in the cockpit when we came through, but it was about that. So that should be plenty. But as I say, I'll go and have a look. That's it, all settled in for the night. Found quite a nice white patch actually for the anchor. Nice bit of sand, which is good. So I'm not going to go into the tavernas tonight. It's not quite the same when Judy's not here. So I've just made some comfort food, eggy spaghetti. It's what we used to make for the kids. Although this has got smoked salmon in it, so that's a bit better. So I've got that, a bit of Guinness and Netflix. It's film night. But I wasn't on my own for long. The next day, I was joined by long-time patrons of ours, Paul and Nicole, a good-looking couple in a very fast boat. Move over, Le Vagabond. This is an XP55, the performance version of the X-Yacht, as if the standard model isn't fast enough. They are not liveaboards, but spend as much time as they can aboard while balancing work and families. I thought it would be a good chance to talk to them about how they manage to juggle that, and of course to have a nose around their boat.
I love the lines of it. It's not to everyone's taste, but plumb stem, plumb transom, it looks right. It's got a lovely look to it, and we've proven you can cruise on it. And we've been cruising, 20,000 miles of cruising. It's doing well.
I like this boom. What did you say this was called?
It's a Park Avenue boom.
A Park Avenue
Danish
boom.
call it a canoe boom.
A canoe boom,
which
yeah.
makes sense.
So yeah, sail just drops into the boom itself. No bag. Now you've got flush hatches.
Yep, flush hatches, and we've taken the handles off the top of them.
Yeah.
And
just
so
use which,
yeah.
Dampen the movement. Yeah. Which is a lovely shape, isn't she? From
Yeah.
here.
So this is where, when you look at the modern boats, they really do take their beam aft. This one doesn't.
Yeah.
So
that's right.
So it doesn't actually fall into the.
I know.
category of the-
I did make that caveat when I was talking about fat ass boats. That this has got a good shape underwater. I know it has, and it doesn't stay square at the back, does it? It's not.
No, and
hasn't
here
quite got that.
it's.
So Nicole, are you going to show me down below then?
Yes, I will. Welcome.
Wow.
Come down.
Well, that's some sort of space, isn't it? That's so keel step mast, so it comes all the way through, along with a bit of rigging. Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
And yeah,
And
again, underneath this bed is just all storage. All up here is all storage.
Little
You can see
view
Ferrell
through
off
there.
Can we? Oh, no, not quite.
Around there.
So yeah, lots of different.
Yeah, little cubby holes always useful. Fantastic. Obviously, the easiest thing to do would what most people in your position would do: have your boat in the Solents, go down at the weekend and sail it. You've gone a step further than that by bringing it here. I mean, we can all see the advantages of that. But you know, is that something that you think is doable?
So yeah, it's worth the effort. It's actually not as expensive as people think, because the flights, if you plan them in advance, are dirt cheap.
I think for me, not being a sailor, for me it's about the exploration, and it is about the places that we go and the people we meet. I love meeting people. We love meeting people. We love food. We love experiencing those different foods. So yes, we'll meet great people if we're in the UK sailing, but it's not the same as sailing into a little seaside village in Greece and stopping in a taverna and just chatting.
We are lucky to be able
We're
to try
fortunate,
this,
yeah.
and but all it does for me is it increases my thirst. Each time we do this, I become more thirsty for this life.
It was good to have Paul and Nicole here, and if you want to see more of Paul's very short shorts, then they do have some videos of their own. I'll put a link in the description to that, and we'll be doing a longer version of that tour in the interview, so you can really see around the boat and learn a little bit about their trials and tribulations of keeping a boat in the Med. So do keep an eye out for that. It'll be out in about a week or so. Meanwhile, I'm told everything is going well in the UK, pregnancy is going well. I'm sailing on here, but I'm not going the whole way on my own. I've got a friend, Robin, who's coming out here and he's going to sail with me up to Athens. And he's bringing his son, Finn, with him, who's a very good fisherman. So we might even get some fish for the barbecue, which will be great. So sorry you've had to listen to me drone on through the whole of this one. Judy will be back soon, I hope, and normal service will be resumed. So as ever, thanks for watching. See you next time.